Are you comfortable?
Yep.
Good, because I'm not. All right, I think we're up to episode 4.
Yeah.
And nobody's commented on the last one, so I said Lexy's my cheat code to life. If you want the cheat code, I'll ask your questions, put them in the comments, and I'll ask away. But at the moment, there has been a lot of fear in the world, a lot of fear around we're running out of fuel, the farmers aren't going to be able to produce crops, there's going to be wars, is the country safe, will I be able to fly to a destination, if I go to the destination, will I be able to get home? So I don't know how far we'll go through it all, but I just kind of, wanted to make this podcast a little bit about fear and a little bit about what's going on in the world. I think, you're saying as in...
Yeah, I'm waiting for like
Oh,
where.
so, yeah, so
I'm waiting for you to get to where you're...
Yeah, but so I guess my question is, leaving everything out of it, just your initial kind of thoughts if somebody says to you, talks like fear.
Yeah.
I guess to make it easier for people that are listening, maybe like fear versus fright might be a good place to start, and how that relates. Like, what's your kind of broad, explanation or your thoughts around that?
So there are two different, fear is very different to fright. Fright is an instinctual reaction. Like, so say if you're, someone jumps out at you and does boo or something like that, that's a fright. That's a like, oh, crap, like I've got to get safe.
Yeah.
Like to keep your physical body safe, there's fright. You then still have, from that fright, you can have different survival responses where it's either freeze, fight or flight, basically. But that is an instinctual reaction. Fear is created by the mind. So what that means is it's a fabrication, it's a mental fabrication. So it is something that you've created in your mind, and then, don't get wrong, like, can feel very real, but it's like you've created it in your mind, and then you can kind of connect or attach a story to it, and it flows, and it can interrupt, or it can stop you from moving forward or doing things that you actually want to do.
Right. So where fright would be like a natural response that you don't even need to really think of, almost like an animal.
That's what
Dog gets scared of a loud noise.
Yeah, it's an instinctual
Fear
reaction.
is completely needs that conscious thought to actually... So just straw manning, like me holding on to the idea of fear, just for devil's advocate kind of thing.
Yeah.
What about if the fear is real? Like, if I'm walking close to a very big drop, I'm scared of heights, and I feel like that's a fair enough fear to have when I'm very close to an edge.
There's a difference between risk assessment and fear, though. So even then, you just said, like, you've got a fear of heights. You've still, whether you've consciously created that or not, I'm just saying that it still is created by the mind. It's still held in the mind. Whether that's your subconscious, your unconscious, or your conscious mind, it is still held within the mind. You will have a healthy awareness of risk, where, like, you kind of go, oh, is this, like, again, it's a safety thing. Is this safe for me? Like, there's an instinctive assessment that you do in that regard. But no, if it's fear, it's like you still have the fear, that response is still governed by the conscious, subconscious, like, it's governed by the mind.
So if I walk up to an edge and I didn't see it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of fright, that's fair enough.
Yep.
But then if I step back and I'm now 2 meters from the edge, it's like you're just holding on to that fear for nothing.
Yeah, and because you're letting the fear, because usually what we then start to do is we let fear dictate what our actions or lack of actions are.
Yeah.
And so the reason that, to bring this back into, like, say, the war or the fuel crisis or that kind of stuff.
It's exactly what I was about to ask about. How does that relate to the fuel? Because there is some reality to it. Like
Yes.
there is big lines in some countries.
Yep.
There is some places that have run out of fuel. And Australia is in like a shortage of fuel. So how much of that is actually fright and how much of that is actually fear?
So this is what I mean though, is that like, yeah, but it's still letting fear govern you, right? So yes, you can do like, to say you still have risk assessment, you still have reality, you're still going to go, oh, do I have fuel? Like, oh, is there fuel for me to fill up my car or whatever else? Like that's a reality. But I think if you get caught up in the fear, like, oh God, we're going to run out of fuel, we're not going to have anything, we're not going to get food, we're not going, like, when, you know what I mean? It like starts to almost turn kind of apocalyptic in your mind. Like you start to spiral with the fear, because the fear creates another fear, and then the fear creates another fear, and then it builds on itself. And then people start to spiral around that. Whereas like you can have a healthy level of awareness of like, oh, okay, actually, yeah, look at where the world is. As I said, like with news, like if you're following mainstream media news, it's like that's always going to perpetuate fear. Yeah. It's going to generate and perpetuate and build it up and feed it. It's almost like a fire, you know what I mean? It keeps feeding it. So it's one thing to have awareness of that and not attach to it and go, okay, well, I've got an awareness that, you know, we may run out of fuel. Then bring yourself back to the present and be like, do we have fuel right now? Yes, no. It's like, and start managing it that way, because then it's like you can still forward plan to from that space, but it's then being a bit more strategic and more aligned and more aware in that whole thought process, rather than letting fear govern you, where you're like, okay, I'm going to go out and buy 100 jerry cans. And like, do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like because those actions or reactions come from fear. Yeah. Fear's governing all of that. Like you're meant to like your whole me center is activated. Like you're fully in survival mode. Yeah. Just like that. It's a switch. And when I say survival mode, I don't mean like fright as in instinctual, like I've got to get out of here, I've got to be safe. It's like the fear, because you created in your mind, still activates that part of you. Yeah. So I'm just and it just stays. Like there's just like a thought that's in my head as you're saying that. Yeah. So you could just have a fright, a natural response. That's cool. And the fright might last a little bit longer if the threat continues. Yes. Maybe I can't get back from that hypothetical edge, or maybe there is bombs being dropped in my vicinity. So that's a natural kind of fright situation. That situation might change, and then I can just like hold on to the fear. Or maybe I'm just like doom scrolling all the time and like clicking on all of the naysayer kind of things and all of the threat things and all of the shortage things, and I'm really buying into that fear. If I continue on that path, is it still fear, or does it just like go into stress? So you know what I mean? Like, let's say I'm going through, I'm in that cycle of perpetually watching these negative reels and seeing these things. Is it still fear, or is it stress, or does fear and stress, how do you think they kind of... Fear and stress are interconnected, because you do have, like I said, if you have fright, you have a survival response. Like it's an instinctual survival response. Say, you know, you release adrenaline, blah, blah, blah. Then it only lasts for a certain period of time. Then you have your cortisol and your body starts to clear it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you settle, you go back into a regulated state, things quieten and settle. Yeah. With fear, you're constantly playing that over in your head or in your mind. Yeah. So you are continuously keeping yourself in a dysregulated state, like your nervous system is basically fucking shot, and you're stressed out to the max. So your cortisol levels are fucking high. So then what does it start doing? It starts affecting your appetite, it affects your sleep, it affects literally how you think and process information. Because then the only way you're going to process information is like, this is a threat to me somehow. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I get what you're saying. I guess I probably didn't say my question properly. I'm like, when is it stress? When is it fear? Are the two like, you know what I mean? Can you talk to me about like the relationship between the two kind of... That's what I'm saying. Constructed emotions? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're interconnected. Do you know what I mean? Like you can have stress in terms of like, say you put your body through a workout, or you know, you have a massive set of meetings, or you've got like something that's like, fuck, I've got to like, you know, say you're competing in something. Like you can have those things, and that's a stress response, but it's like, it's it's a stress response because it's like that's what you're pushing your body to the limit in that moment, right? But the reason the relationship with that is that if you then have fear that is causing you to be in a stress state, like a stress state, and have a stress response continuously, you're keeping yourself in a dysregulated state. It's like, so you're never actually settling, and you literally have parts of your brain that aren't firing then.
Yeah.
You know, like everything is from survival.
Yeah, you're too much in that fight or flight.
Yeah.
Because the reason I'm kind of asking is because of like what you just alluded to. Like that continuous stress is extremely bad. Like real low level kind of stress that a lot of CEOs and that kind of find, or entrepreneurs, and that they're always like, I need to be action, drive. But some stress is actually good. And as somebody that's done like a lot of working out, I can see like a lot of the time working out is really good. Like you ramp up and then you let your body rest, and then that's how you build muscle and endurance. But it's not with stress, it's not a more, well, I'm just talking about the physical. It's not more is always better. Like say bench press might be good for building your chest when you do it once, maybe twice a week. But if you did bench press every day and you did like say 3 sets of 8 or something every single day, that would actually be almost not detrimental like in the long term, but it'd be extremely inefficient way of doing it. So I guess you're kind of, stress is a weird one in that you've kind of got to balance it.
Yes.
Fright is kind of, it balances itself.
Yeah.
Fear is like probably a never good thing, but then stress is like, it's like small doses is extremely beneficial, but so it's a weird...
Yeah, it's balancing it out, like exactly what you said, like it literally is balance. And the only way to balance yourself out is bringing your awareness to your body, being aware of your body, of like and connecting in with yourself, like your soul, and going, is this a yes or a no for me? And so even to bring it back in around the fuel stuff or the war stuff or anything like that, like, and this is just one example, like there's so much news and information that we get bombarded with in terms of to stimulate or activate fear, right? So if or to create it, so if we have that, it's taking a step back and going, okay, does this feel right for me? What is being asked of me right now? Like, what is the action or lack of action that is needed in this situation? But it's only by bringing yourself back to the present and back into your body that you can really go, oh, okay, I can take a second, because it sends I don't know all of the medical scientific part of this, but basically it sends a signal to say, hey, I'm safe right now.
Yeah.
Like what you were saying about working out. Like, yes, small little doses of stress are good. Yeah. They're beneficial. But it's like, it helps you grow. It helps you move forward.
Yeah.
But then you also need to be able to go, okay, now I'm allowing myself to rest. Now I'm allowing myself to relax. I'm not in a state of duress anymore.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. I think a lot of people just get, everyone, including myself, you get bombarded with information to trigger and activate stress and fear. And to the point, well, I should say your stress comes from the fear, right? The fear creation. But it's like, this is on both sides. So people can go, that are in the spiritual industry, will go, oh, it's because, but that's wrong. You shouldn't be watching mainstream media, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but you're sharing fear propaganda to a certain extent, and you're not giving anybody tools to empower yourselves through that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like both sides of it. It's like, I'm not going to say they're both as bad as each other, but it's because I do feel there is a beautiful thing about having an awareness of things, right? But it's like having the awareness and then being able to have the tools to know, oh, that's cool. I don't need to attach to that. I need to connect back in with myself and anchor back in and go, what is needed of me right now in this moment for myself?
100%.
And I feel like that's the piece that is missing.
Yeah. Yeah, the tools to actually regulate. I suppose being in the physical world, we're a lot more attuned to the idea of, especially in, say, powerlifting and bodybuilding and that sort of thing, we're very aware of, like, you need to do different body parts at different sizes of the week in order to, like, regulate, and you don't want to overtrain because that's just as bad as not training at all, and diet and all that, and rest recovery is just as important as lifting the weights or doing the cardiovascular work in the first place. On the emotional and spiritual side, there still is, there's like a stigma around it. It's like, yeah, I can do all of these different things and have all of these things, but like talk to a therapist or get spiritual guidance. It's kind of a bit like, no, I don't need that, because it's like you don't see it. It's not like a bicep. It doesn't stand out. You can't, like, you know, put a tight shirt on it and go, look how good spiritually and emotionally I am. It doesn't really show off. It's actually quite hard to see. So what would be some tools? What would be like, what sort of things are you kind of tuning yourself into mentally and emotionally these days, with the like bombardment of fear and with the amount of people that are kind of talking this way? And like, obviously you need to put things online, so you're going to get exposed to a lot of it anyway. How are you kind of personally dealing with it, and how would you, what would be your recommendation?
Yeah, I think for me, I will say I do feel like, for me personally, I'm very good at reorienting myself. I feel like, and the way that I do it is this, like, I will literally, and this is one of my own techniques I use, but I will put my awareness on my left hand. Sometimes I do both, but usually it's like your left hand, like your palm and your fingers, and you focus on feeling your palms and your fingers, not physically, but like feeling them, sensing them. And you'll notice, you get like a little tingle, and then you start to follow your own energy, that's moving through your body. So you're like, okay, now I'm going to feel into my wrist, and you're like, oh, yep, nice. And then you feel into your elbow, and then you go all the way up to your shoulder, and you'll notice like your shoulder or your elbow is like, it's not as strong as your hand, right? But it's also to do with awareness, because we have more awareness of our hands. So this is why this is a good place to start. And then you get to your shoulder, and then you go into your chest and heart space, and it's like your body just goes, like you just get like oh, okay. And the reason I do this is because you cannot, literally there's so many studies prove this, you cannot think and feel at the same time. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. Because if you're feeling, you cannot think. Like you're using different parts of your brain, like you can't. So if you're thinking too much, if you're caught up too much in fear, you're getting bombarded with information, it's on the mental plane. So what can we do to shift you into embodiment and shift into the emotional plane? Just like if you're too caught up in emotions, again, anchoring to the body is still going to shift you, because you're redirecting what you're focusing on.
That's cool.
So that is one of, like, it's simple, but it's so effective. I mean, another one is breath. Like, you know, I know a lot of people have different breathwork things and stuff that they do, but I found for me, because my head is so fucking constant, that I found that if I breathed in for 4 seconds and then I exhaled for 5. So whenever I'm looking at settling myself, me personally, I always exhale for longer than I inhale.
Right.
Which I know some people do the complete opposite, and maybe there's breathwork people that'll be like, don't do that if you're in stress or whatever else. But I found for myself that is one of the best things to do. I'm like, okay, I'm breathing in for 4 seconds, I'm holding for a second, and then I'm breathing out for 5. And it just straight away, it's like it's almost like the energy, like just my thoughts would just like melt. Like they're just like, okay, now we're dropping away. And if I found that my head was too activated, sometimes it would be too hard for me to feel straight into my hand. So I would just do a few breaths. I do like 3 cycles of that, where it's just like 3 of those breaths, and then feel into my body. And then again, ask myself the question like, okay, what, like, you know, this is right for me right now. I do a lot of muscle testing where I like will stand, and you know, if I lean forward, it's a yes. If I lean back, it's a no. But it always needs to be a statement. And I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, so I got, like what you said, I get,
yeah.
like I get bombarded with conspiracy theories, right? Like I get bombarded with like so many different things. Obviously all of the Epstein stuff, like that I read and went down into that. But, which is absolutely just, disgusting and horrible. It's like, so that I don't feel so disempowered in that process, I need to bring my awareness back to me and my own sovereignty and my own energy, and then ask myself, like, you know, not body testing, because that would be a statement, but I actually ask myself, like, what can I do right now? Like, what is one thing I can do right now that's going to help me feel like I'm empowered? Or what is one thing I can do right now that's going to help me feel like I'm contributing or making a difference in the world?
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, sometimes we have these grand ideas that they need to be like massive. You know, like I think I even spoke to you where I was like, I'm like, do I need to start a revolution? Like, you know, like I'll storm the castle. It's like, but that's not what's aligning with me.
It's not your calling.
Yeah, it's not my calling. It's like, that's not my role. Yeah? Whereas if I connect in and I'm like, oh, it's actually talking about how to navigate fear. It's talking about how to reconnect you with yourself and your own sovereignty so that you can make choices that align with you. That is part of my calling, and that's what I'm sharing. That's going to help shift the dynamic and you know, help make the world a better place.
Yeah.
That's just for me personally, but it's like every single one of us has that.
Yeah.
It's just how to access it when you're in a state of fear, and you can't attach to that stuff.
No. Leave storming the castle to me.
Yeah. I just want I like also the outfit. It'd be cool.
You just want to wear a knight's outfit.
I want to be like Joan of Arc.
I'm pretty sure they aren't comfortable.
No, I want to be like Joan of Arc. Just like a tiny little bit of chainmail, like, you know, dress it up.
Just anyway. Like the little shoulder parts.
Yeah, just like some little shoulder pads.
Some little strappy bits of leather and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely a cool
sword.
Yeah,
like a sick outfit. Like, that'd be cool.
Some people riding on either side with banners up in the air. Flower girls in front of you.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be cool.
Pretty sure that's not Joan of Arc.
No. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that kind of thing is, that's not my role, but it's like I can connect into that, and I can connect back into my empowerment. And I think that's a big thing that fear does, is fear disempowers you.
Yeah.
Like every time. And I can say that. It's like I've got a fear of deep water and not being able to touch the bottom because I drowned when I was little and had to get resuscitated. But it's like there's this energy connected into it where it's like I know that it has fucking 100% impacted on my quality of life at times. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is definitely dictated like how much enjoyment I get out of something, or whether I do an experience, or do you know what I mean? Like, it's
sure.
impact. You know this. It's like it's impacted that, but it's like the awareness. And obviously I'm working through that. But like that's a very like a lot of people have very like physical kind of fears. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's like
falling or heights. Or water,
which like
drowning.
they're a lot. And I will say this: they're a lot easier to work with or easier to navigate. When you've got a fear, say, of failure, or you have a fear of, you know, never being able to break a cycle, or you have it like, you know, and like when you have those types of fears, it
Isn't
almost
that everyone though?
Well, yeah, it's maybe to a certain extent, but I'm just saying.
Doesn't everyone fear failure? Doesn't everyone fear rejection?
Some people fear success. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, not everyone fears rejection. There's like people have different fears, and they're all activated from runes or whatever else. But I'm just saying, like, either way, those fears, they take a bit longer to work on because because most people try to release a fear or to work on a fear that's held in the mind using the mind.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, those kind of fears are more like part of your identity. Like, if I'm talking to somebody about like jiu-jitsu or something, well, I'm too old, or I can't do that because I'm too stiff. And
exactly. And
I'm not saying there is no truth to it, but it's if you
and
attach that to different things like failure or success, more generic things, then it's definitely more of an identity and more of a learned fear than I don't know, an intrinsic fear that's probably somehow come through your DNA, like a fear of spiders or a fear of snakes.
Yeah, like whether that's connected to past life fears or current fears or whatever else. But yeah, and the fact that you said identity, it's like that's what I wanted to lead into, is that, you know, how you identify yourself also dictates what types of fears you're going to engage with or like interact with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So like obviously when I'm working with people, I'm like, and I know you've heard me say this so many times, but it's like, you know, you need to know who you are on a soul level, right? You're always going to be growing, you're always going to be evolving, but you need to know who you are.
Yeah.
That comes from you connecting in with yourself regularly and consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. By doing that, once you know who you are, then you know what you want and you know how to get it. We've got a really beautiful flow with that. The problem is, though, is that people are identifying themselves based on fears and traumas. And so they attach to an experience and let the experience dictate, or maybe sometimes it's not even an experience. Do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you right now, it's
things.
But at the end of the day, I'm still going to argue that you can say, oh, maybe they aren't experiences. Most of the time, they still are experiences. Why? Because they're looking through that perspective lens.
Well, yeah, there are experiences in that, like I might be having the experience of being a man. Still just an experience.
Yeah, but what I mean is like people then attach to that and say it's a marker. And the way that I look at it is like, you know, at the end of the day, like your soul is you naked.
Yeah.
And your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, not even so much experiences, but your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, like values, that kind of thing, they literally are clothing or accessories that you put on. And the problem is, though, is that people like will put on a shirt and then it's like, they're like, oh, the fucking shirt's too tight. Like, oh, this is uncomfortable. I hate it. This is horrible. I feel trapped. And it's like, so then take the shirt off. Like, take the shirt off. Like, oh, but I've always had this shirt on. It's like, so? Like, is it serving you anymore? Does it fit you anymore? No. You've outgrown it. You've got a shirt. You're wearing a shirt like as a 35-year-old that you put on when you were 4. You know? So it's like, how can you change that? Well, easy.
Somebody that's had a beliefs or a serious set of beliefs from 4 to 35 and then tried to change it, it's pretty hard.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's pretty hard.
But at the same time, that's also part of the story that you start to tell yourself. Do you know what I mean? Why does it feel hard? Because you're putting yourself through discomfort. Discomfort doesn't feel easy.
Yeah.
But it's also, the discomfort only lasts and is as intense as what you perceive it to be.
Yeah.
So if you go, oh, well, I've had this shirt on since I was 4 years old, like, oh, I'm trying to get it off and it hurts and fuck, it's like, I don't even know, like, it's like, well, one, maybe you can get help and ask someone to get a pair of scissors and help cut it off you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, because obviously you can't, I don't think you should just always only do things on your own. We've got connection and community for a reason. But it's like, maybe it's that. Or maybe it is actually just like, stop struggling for a second, take a step back, deep breath in, breath out, feel into yourself, and then you'll easily be able to get it off.
Fair.
Like, you're in a panic space because you're struggling.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, it's still activating the same fear. It's still activating a stress response within you. And then you're still acting from that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. It's not. It's like, but I'm also not going to sit here and say it's hard.
All right, I'll sit here and say it's hard.
No, because it's like, I feel like, okay, I'll say like from me specifically, I will own the fact that like I'm very good at moving through things quite quickly.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why it's hard.
No, so like you would agree with that,
yeah, for sure.
Like if whether it's belief systems, whether it's values, whatever, it's like I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Does this serve me anymore? No. See you later. Next thing, come in. Like I'm quite good at that. But the reason being is because I'm connecting in and I'm anchoring into myself, my soul, and going, does this serve me anymore? Yes or no? And in that moment, I'm still choosing me. I'm not choosing the experience. I'm not choosing the identity that I used to be.
Yeah.
And that can feel scary at times.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you still need to do it. Like, if there's this part of me that I'm like, I know that if I don't choose this, then the result is pain. I'm going to experience pain. I'm going to experience more pain and more
Yeah.
pain, and then I'm going to disempower myself and put myself in a victim space.
Yeah, well, I can talk to that. You hold on to it.
Yeah, and it's like you're holding on to who you were.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because it's like, but this isn't who you are now.
Yeah.
So the analogy that I use is like, you've closed this door, you're still holding on to it, and you're like, okay, and I want to go walk through this door, and you're trying to walk through this door and open it, and it's like, while you're still holding on, and you're like, oh fuck, it's like you're stretched.
Yeah.
And then you've got this door, and this door's opening, and it's pulling you as this, and you're like, fuck. It's like, just stop causing yourself pain and just let it go. But the hard thing is, the only way to know if it's something you should, because there is a difference between knowing when to release something and let go, or when to anchor in to hold on to something.
Yeah, when you still should keep pushing because you're nearly there. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is just a challenge you need to overcome.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to know that is by, again, coming back into your body, back into your awareness, and going, you know, it's good for me to keep going in this direction. Yes, no.
And the only way you really know is by awareness on it and practice of it. Just like if you're in the gym, the only way you know whether you really should do another set, or you should do another rep, or you should push through another 500 meters or a kilometer, is by having done lots of kilometers or lots of reps, and like, if I go another one, this is going to be detrimental.
Exactly. It's like, and you'll know that. It's like, and it's kind of like a muscle. You need to build it up a little bit. But the point is like, even someone who hasn't really built it up a lot can like connect into themselves, feel into their body, and then get like a little flutter if it's like, oh, this is a yes, or like a sink if it's a no. Like it's actually that easy, because everyone is intuitive.
Yeah.
Every single person. Our intuition directs and guides us. It literally is like a fucking compass. But it's like, if you're just on the fucking ship being like, no, I'm steering it. Like, you know, like if you're there going, oh, I'm going to go over here. Like, I'm going to sail this sea. And it's like, great. Is that a sea you're meant to be on? Oh, I don't know. I'm just fucking going. And like,
Full move straight. What do you mean?
Like, I'm getting fuel. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you won't know. Whereas like, if you're connecting in with yourself and you're like, oh, wait a second, I need to check the compass. Like, oh, fuck, actually, I don't want to be going this way anymore. I want to be going this way. It's like, great. So then just change direction. Like, you haven't lost anything in that. You know what I mean? But people get so caught up on the attachment and on the physical side of things and on the identity of who they were.
Yeah.
So this is what I was saying about, it's like, oh, they're scared of
sinking.
They're scared of success, or they're scared of failure, or they're scared, like, all those things come into play. It's the same with, like, you know, if we talk about samskaras, it's like, what are you holding on to? It's like, sometimes people don't release the identity because they're holding on to all of the good things that they had from that identity.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you probably need to explain what sanskaras are.
Oh, so sanskara is essentially like, if you feel something negative, or like, you know, you have a bad feeling or a good feeling, and you hold on to it.
Yeah.
You let it sit. Like, you attach to it in some way. So whether that's good or bad, and obviously that's based on perception, but either way you can hold on to things.
So basically like a series of events, or like a tune and a breeze at the same time, or I don't know.
So say, for instance, like, okay, so say you've had something super fucking traumatic happen where you've lost a business, or you've lost a loved one, or something like that. It's like that can create a sanskara, like where you're holding on to pain connected into that event or connected into that experience. Yeah. Right? Like, it hasn't been processed, it's still sitting there. You can have the opposite of that, where, you know, you've had an amazing day with your family, or an amazing day with your kids, or an amazing day with your partner, or an amazing day at work. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, fuck, that was the best thing. Or maybe like, actually, a holiday would be a perfect example, where it's like, fuck, this has been the best holiday ever. And there's a part of you that then, on your next holiday, almost compares and goes,
you want to be like that last one.
Oh man, I wish it was like the last holiday. And it's like, yeah, you're still holding on to the good part, because there's a part of you that fears that you're not going to experience joy or happiness or whatever
ever again
in that context
Yeah.
again. So it's like either way, so people get locked onto identities that are connected into those things. Not just trauma, it's also good things. But they're like, oh, but you know, fuck, I was this person and, you know, I had respect and I had reputation, I had these things, like that was fucking good. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't mean you're not going to experience the same thing and you need to shift.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just using these as examples. It's like, yeah, like that's a massive thing that people need to be aware of. It's like, yeah, your identity is gone, like your identity is transient. Your identity is just an expression of your soul's energy. That's it.
Yeah. I can
And
see that.
you need to be empowered enough and empower yourself enough to know that it's your choice and your decision on like, do you want to still have this belief? Do you still want to have this value? Do you still want to behave this way, have this habit? Do you still want to, you know, do you still want to show up in relationships in this way? Do you want to express who you are this way? They're questions that I think like people need to regularly ask themselves.
Yeah.
I know you would know being with me, like I ask myself those questions probably on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I showing up? Do I still want to show up as in this way? Like, because if you need to change clothes or accessories, just change them.
Just change.
Yeah. People go, oh, it's not that easy. Well, no, it actually is. It's just like you just need to say, I accept my present situation and I allow myself to move forward easily.
Yeah.
And actually just show up for yourself each time.
I like it.
I know we covered a
Oh, that's what I was just thinking.
Rather, yeah, this is a lot.
That's a lot.
This is a lot for everybody to unpack.
Yeah, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well,
Thank you.
just a reminder, if you've made it this far, please drop a comment saying, hey, ask Lexy this on the next one. So then when I'm going through it, I can come in prepared. Obviously, I didn't really need to. The world is kind of screaming out about fear at the moment, so I feel like it was on everybody's mind anyway. But
yeah, I feel like thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and yeah, obviously if you want to hit us up, you can join the spiritual treehouse on school. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next podcast.
yes, I should drop a link to that down below.